AITA for sitting with my bill instead of cooking. I 29F recently went on holiday with my husband 32, his parents, his sister 28 and her husband Paul. I don't really get on with my husband's family, but the trip was to a country where a lot of their extended family now live, and I tagged along because my husband and I were going to another location the week after. I am not particularly fond of Paul. He's just but I'm a nice guy personified. That said, it's not so obvious all the time that you can't be around him, and the whole family except our respective spouses dislike both of us, so there have been moments when I found myself seeking out Paul for conversation at events. On this particular day, my husband had gone to a business meeting and I stayed at the rental house. I walked my husband out and then saw Paul sitting by the pool. So I went to sit with him. We were there for maybe 10 minutes when my sil came out and asked if I wanted to come inside and make lunch with her and my mil. I said no thanks, I'm not hungry because I generally don't eat lunch unless at a restaurant and wasn't planning to eat. This seemed to annoy her for some reason and she went back inside. 5 minutes later my mil came out and said I should come to the kitchen. I again said no thanks, I don't cook and I'm not planning on eating so I'm fine here. A while later I mentioned going to get a drink but Paul offered to get it. So I let him. When Paul came back with the drink he mentioned that Sil and Mil were mad at me. But I brushed it off. Eventually Paul got called in for lunch and I went out to town for a while. When I got back, I walked into all the in-laws telling my husband that I need to stop treating them like the help and how I was flirting with Paul, which simply never happened. They seemed a bit uncomfortable when they realized I'd heard them but Mil insisted my husband needed to stick up for them. My husband said it's Sil's choice if she wants to be a maid for her deadbeat husband but to stop trying to force everyone else into it. Sil started crying, Paul got upset, and the parents started arguing. Eventually my husband told everyone to let it go, which they did. But they were very standoffish for the rest of the trip, which frankly I preferred. However, I do feel bad because I feel like future trips like this are off the table. I was speaking to my mom about it on the phone, and she said she understands where they're coming from, since in some families that's how it works. She said maybe Sil was uncomfortable that she was inside cooking for her husband while he was spending time with me, but he could have gone and sat with her if he wanted to, and I'm not obligated to performatively toss salad around just because I have a uterus. That said, even in my family women do usually sit together. I'm just starting to wonder if maybe the drama was partly my fault. Edit I put his Sil while referring to my husband's sister, I changed it.